State of Origin Game 3, what an epic battle it was between New South Wales and Queensland, and what a turnaround it was by the mighty Maroons. It was definitely a pleasing night for Anthony Seibold. You're a proud Queenslander. What a time to be in southeast Queensland. You're there as part of the Knights bubble. What did you make of the Maroons' turnaround on Wednesday night?
Yeah, fantastic performance by Queensland on Wednesday night. I thought Callum Ponga was a fantastic inclusion. His performance was very good, and Ben Hunt certainly played his best game at State of Origin level in the Queensland number 9. So, yeah, very pleasing result for Queensland. I'm really happy for Paul Green and all the players. All
right, their backs were against the wall. They were bashed from pillar to post from their former greats. A lot of critics saying they don't have what it takes to beat the Blues side, given their games 1 and 2 and their performances that got them the wins there. But how did the Maroons get it done? Was it application? Was it attitude? Was it will to win?
I think, Jack, all of those things. This is an example. This was the blueprint for Queensland on Wednesday night. We spoke earlier in the week about running with inside shoulders. There you see Tino back at inside shoulders. They're creating momentum. Callum Ponga on the next play. Inside shoulders of the A defender and Yo there. Again, creates momentum. And this was the blueprint. I spoke about this prior to the game, and the idea of putting the ball on top of Josh Addo-Carr, getting down there, taking him out of the game, but also Tom Trbojevic on the tackle, the second tackle there, which we call as coaches the +1. And you'll see here, landing on top of Addo-Carr, the Queensland chase team was able to get down and take away his threat. Now, Addo-Carr only ran for 54 metres on the night. They certainly took him out of the game. And as you can see, it's a lot easier to handle Tom Trbojevic on the +1 tackle. Great intent there by the Queensland forward pack, but it's a lot easier to handle him when the ball's not getting shifted to him. When he's coming one off the ruck, it's much easier for the Queensland team to handle, and they did a fantastic job on Wednesday night.
Yeah, the way they handled the Blues back five, who were so impressive throughout the first 2 games, was incredible. What about the pressure they put on Mitch Moses during his Origin debut? From the get-go, the number 7 for the Blues had a target on his back.
They disrupted the Blues attack, and they did it by inside pressure. Again, it's a point that I noted earlier in the week. And I just want to point out Felice Kaufusi and pause it there. You'll see Kaufusi coming from the inside, just a very small change of intensity on Mitchell Moses to make Mitchell Moses play a bit earlier. And what it does, it disrupts the attack. You see Tedesco there has got nowhere to go. And as I said, if I take it back and let it play out, you'll see Felice Kaufusi have that 2 to 3 metre change of intensity. There it is. Moses goes cross field. There's Kaufusi making Mitchell Moses play on his terms. And I thought Queensland did an exceptional job with that on Wednesday night. The other thing I liked about Queensland was their try line defence, Zach, and in particular their line speed on both sides of the play the ball, the left-hand side and the right-hand side. This is an example where there's inside pressure on the ball play. You'll see if we could come out and make Yo play a little bit earlier. But watch what that does for Cameron Munster and AJ Brimson, who come off the bench at half-time. Again, you'll see an example here where the line speed of that left edge for Queensland, they all get past 10 metres. You can see Munster, Catewell, Brimson, and then also Tabuai-Fidow getting past the 10 metres, so it's taking time away from the Blues. Now, Tom Trbojevic was the player who they were shifting the ball to, and I thought did a great job. You'll see inside pressure by Catewell, which means it's easy for Munster and also AJ Brimson to defend. This is another example from a little bit wider field position. Queensland, again, get off their line exceptionally well. You'll see they get out 10. Now it's man on man. And in this situation, what we want to see from Brimson is for him to go and attack and take time away from Tom Trbojevic. What Queensland have done in games 1 and game 2 is be passive there, Zach. So Brimson does a fantastic job here, taking time away from Turbo and handles him quite comfortably, making a good tackle. But that's what I saw from the Queensland side. Their inside pressure was very consistent, and it disrupted how New South Wales wanted to play. But I also thought the line speed of Queensland defending their try line disrupted the Blues attack as well.
Siebes, we all know how classy Callum Ponga is. You are lucky enough to work with him a couple of days a week in your time with the Knights. But could you believe his performance on Wednesday night? He hadn't been seen in the Origin arena for a couple of years, but the ability to lift his teammates and to come up with some big plays was incredible.
It doesn't shock me, Zach, getting to watch him train closely in my role there with the Knights, I see some of the special things that he does at training on both sides of football. And I thought one of the big reasons why Queensland improved defensively was the line organisation of Kalen Ponga. I've spoken a number of times, in the game plan this year about the importance of the fullback, and I thought he did a fantastic job. But I want to show some of his attacking weapons to start with. So this is obviously a kick return. Mitchell Moses actually kicked the footy really well on Wednesday night, and there's Ponga on the kick return. Now, what he has the ability to do is step across defenders. He gets past Cameron Murray. There's a little dent in the line there inside Turbo. He takes the space. Again, close to the play, the ball skips across Cameron Murray, gets the ball to the outside of Tom Trbojevic to Capewell. And again, just poking little dents in the line there. This is the example I wanted to show. Out the back of shape. Now, Queensland chanced their arm and shifted the ball in yardage. And I thought it was a very good tactic there from Paul Green's side. You'll see at the back of shape, there's Kalen Ponga. Now, the role of Felice Kafusi in this situation here is to put Latrell Mitchell under pressure by taking his inside shoulder off. And as I let it play, you'll see Kalen Ponga at the back of shape have too much speed and have too much class to get on the outside there of Latrell, poke a hole in the Blues defence, and obviously a play or two later, Queensland score on the other side of the field. But fantastic ability of Kalen Ponga to skip defenders and put pressure on the defensive line of the Blues was outstanding on Wednesday night.
And to think he'd only played, one game of footy in the lead up to this in about 2 months, given a groin injury had hampered him throughout the most of season 2021. Siebes, on the game plan leading into games 1 and 2, and even in reviewing those games, you spoke about origin moments. Now, when it comes to origin moments, the game was on the line. Queensland 20, New South Wales 18, 7 minutes to go, and Kalen Ponga, that player, produced one of the all-time origin moments.
Yeah, this was a game changer, certainly. With regards to the origin moments you talk of, this is the big one. We showed some examples of New South Wales with origin moments in games 1 and 2. This didn't take talent or didn't take skill so much from Kalen Ponga. It took an effort to get in between Tom Trbojevic and James Tedesco. And, we saw that on the run there. This is the best example to have a look at it. There's Tommy Trbojevic getting on the inside shot of Josh Papali'i. And Tedesco is one of the quickest men in our game. You'll see there, that's what's confronting Kalen Ponga. Tom Trbojevic at full flight, James Tedesco on the inside, as all good fullbacks should do. And Kalen Ponga puts himself in between both Trbojevic and Tedesco. Again, doesn't take talent, doesn't take skill, it takes an effort to get himself to that position. And this was an origin-defining moment. Kalen Ponga will be remembered for this play going forward, and it'll be another incident or moment, origin moment in Queensland's great history.
I was sitting back watching this game from the couch, Siebes, and I thought to myself, here comes Turbo. He's going to do it for the Blues here like he did in game 1. But Kalen Ponga, hats off to him. He was absolutely incredible. In previewing Origin 3, you said one of the real mismatch that Queensland haven't taken advantage of so far this series was Xavier Coates, the giant on the wing, up against Brian To'o, who is obviously a lot shorter. How did you think they went in terms of executing those crossfield kicks on Brian To'o?
Well, like we thought, Zach, it was certainly a tactic from Queensland. Xavier Coates was back on the right wing, so there was going to be a lot of crossfield kicks. Now, they were inches away a few times from actually pulling the ball down and scoring 4 points. This is a couple of examples. And as I said, it's a genuine tactic from the Queensland side in game 3. You'll see the ball going across there for Xavier Coates to get into the contest. You see him leap above both Latrell Mitchell and Brian To'o, doesn't quite pull the ball down. But what they're trying to do in this situation is they're trying to isolate To'o, the left-hand side winger there. Now, Latrell Mitchell gets into the contest a little bit and disrupts Xavier from the contest. This is another example. Again, Xavier doesn't quite pull the ball down. You'll see the replay of the last example. Doesn't quite pull the ball down, but they went back to the well. This time, Cherry Evans trying to isolate Brian To'o there at the back. So you'll see there, he's by himself. Xavier Coates coming into the contest on what we call a J line, and it's almost like that AFL aerial catch that he's trying to perform here. Doesn't quite pull it off, but again, they put the left-hand side edge of New South Wales under pressure through that tactic.
Unlucky there, Xavier Coates on a couple of those plays. Queensland, unable to score really any points in games 1 and 2. The scoreboard read 76 New South Wales, 6 to Queensland. How were they able to score 20 points to win game 3 on Wednesday night?
Well, it certainly wasn't through structure, Zach. It was the in-between moments. And in-between moments are things like short passes, offloads, dummy half running off the back of a quick play of the ball, shifting the ball wide after a line break. That's how they scored their points on Wednesday night. So you'll see the example here. This is Cameron Munster. Now, we spoke about short passes and we spoke about offloads, breaking up the New South Wales defensive unit. There's a man left on the floor. Cameron Munster loves to get out of dummy half. So there's Cameron getting out of dummy half and putting the Blues forward pack under pressure. He gets in between Yo and also Damien Cook. Big Tino's pushing in support on his outside shoulder. He gets past Junior Puller. Now, this is the offloads that I was talking about to Hamiso there, shifting on the left-hand side of Tino. Fantastic offload in the tackle of Tedesco. That's an in-between moment, not structure, not shape. They wouldn't have planned for that by their practices during the week. Again, another example, Cherry Evans takes the line on. Nothing happening there. In actual fact, a little bit clunky. But Ben Hunt sees something here. Tarek Sims has got eyes for Tom Flegler, and there's a little space there now. There's a triangle in between Payne Haas, Abby Coruscant, and Tarek Sims. You'll see Payne Haas in this particular position there. There's a triangle there. So Tarek Sims has got eyes only for Tommy Flegler. Again, an in-between moment. There's Ben Hunt pushing through the line there. That's another 6 points from the Queensland side. And their third try was off the back of the Callum Ponga line break that we showed a little bit earlier. One of the things I want to point out is the shortened defensive line for the New South Wales Blues. You can see that there's only 5 defenders marking up on their right-hand side of the field. Now, normally from that field position, they'll have 7, sometimes 8 defenders in the line. So certainly a mismatch and again, an in-between moment. No structure about this. Essentially, it was principal football. They know they need to get the ball to the other edge of the field. There's Capewell. And again, little offload in traffic to Ben Hunt, who comes back on the inside. We pointed out change of angles will threaten the Blues side. Those 3 tries were all in between moments, offloads, short passes, shifting the ball off the back of a line break. They're not set plays, Zach, and that's what I liked about the performance of the Queensland side. They took their chances with those in-between moments. They weren't shy of offloading and passing the ball in traffic as well.
All right, the Blues series winners in 2021, but that win in Game 3 gives the Maroons plenty of belief heading into next year's series. I can't wait, even though it's going to be 10 months or so away. Siebes, as always, thank you so much for your great analysis. Enjoy your time in southeast Queensland. Hopefully the Knights have a win this weekend. And to all of our viewers watching the Game Plan, thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week with more in-depth analysis of the greatest game of all.